Hey everybody, welcome to BurkerittoGaming. My name is Burkerito, and this is Tech Talk. And what I do here is I create tutorials and show you guys hardware information, show you how to do certain things with OBS, streaming, whatever it is. I also have another video up, which is episode 1 on incorporating stream elements into your OBS. If you want to check that out, go check that out on my channel. As always, make sure you hit that follow button and turn those notifications on because I don't post all the time when it comes to tutorials. But when I do, make sure you get notified on those so you can keep up with the latest stuff that I try to come across. Or somebody says, hey, can you show me how to do this? And in this case, that's exactly what I'm doing here, is showing a how to incorporate alerts into your OBS and to be able to create a browser source so you can see the overlay. You can hear the tones and stuff come through when you get an alert and all that good stuff. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to go ahead and jump into it. So we're going to go to the desktop here. And in this case, we're going to be using what's called stream stickers. It's fairly popular. A lot of people use it, and it allows viewers to be able to throw stickers onto it. You can use global AI TTS stickers, which are basically what it says, a fully animated text to speech sticker. Like you can use the Joker, Patrick, Darth Vader, all that good stuff. So in this case, what you're going to do is you're going to go into settings. And this is your general page for how the stickers work, how they function, how hard they stick, their volume, how much bits you want it to cost for them to be able to use these stickers, all that good stuff. And I'll do another video on stuff like that and kind of show you what that stuff really does. But in this case, all we're going to do is show you how to use a browser source from an alert system such as stream stickers. What you're going to do is you're going to go into setup. There's a thing here that says I use OBS Studio or I use something else. Now, depending on which one you use, you can hit either one. And I won't show the URL just because of how this system works. Basically, that URL, what it does is it links to my account and allows me to be able to use that URL, that specific URL here, into OBS. And if somebody else were to copy that, every time somebody followed me, it would send an alert to them as well. And that's why I'm not going to show that. But in this case, I use OBS and they make it super simple to do. And all you're going to do is you're going to click and drag it over to OBS. And we're going to switch the monitor real quick. Go to OBS. Click and drag it. All you're going to do is if you've created a scene already, and as you can tell right here, we're using game and screen record. And that's just basically what you're seeing here is my desktop screen, which is currently viewing OBS. All you're going to do is you're going to click and drag and drop it, and it's going to pop up and say you have dragged a URL into OBS. This will automatically add a link as a source, and if you want to continue. Now, not all systems do that. They don't allow that much ease of use, but Stream Stickers does because it is a very popular system. All that good stuff. So all you're going to do is you're going to hit yes, and there you have it. Now we're going to go back over real quick, and in order to test it, you'll see it pop up on here. So as long as you're on the source where you've placed the browser at, so in this case, right here, I placed it here on top of my current recording screens that I use. And that's where the, as long as you're in the scene here, that's where the alert will pop up at. Now, when I click on it, it's already captured the location. You can drag the size of it to whatever size you want. We'll just keep it as is. And then we're going to go back over here. And in order to make sure that everything works, you're going to hit your test browser source size, and all it's going to do is just pop up the corners inside your OBS. And that's, you can't see that on this screen. So you can kind of see here that browser source size test. Please make sure the purple corners and arrows touch the four corners of your streaming window. Now, you don't always have to do that. If you don't want stickers all over the place and you want it secluded to one area, you can absolutely do that. They just tell you to do that to make sure that you get the full effect of stream stickers and what they have to offer. Like I said, you don't have to do that. It doesn't affect anything. It just creates a smaller source whenever somebody uses a particular sticker. So jump back over real quick. And then after you do that, hit it again and it'll turn the arrows and stuff off that you saw over on OBS. Now to make sure that everything's working, all you gotta do is hit test sticker and it'll throw a sticker, and you can do it several times. And it'll just throw stickers onto it, and it'll show that show you that it was working. As you can tell, the stickers were already making sounds because it was going through my desktop audio. Now, that's the easy way to do that one. Now what we'll do is we'll go into Blurp, and basically it's the same thing. So we're going to jump back over to OBS real quick. And if you don't have the option like Stream Stickers did where you can click and drag, and most other ones don't actually have that option to be able to click and drag over to OBS like that, they made it super simple for that. All you're going to do is you can either hit the mouse button or right mouse, or the plus button, right mouse click and go to add. And then look for something in either Streamlabs and OBS that say browser. Look for the little world icon, click that. It's going to pop it up and ask you to name it. If you already have an existing one, great, cool. Then you don't need this video. Other than that, we'll just leave it as browser. Click that. You can already see down here it's created a whole new source for me. It's popped up a whole new window. And basically all this is doing is waiting for a URL to take place. Now we're going to switch back over to Blurp. And I'm going to move this off screen for a second, just a little bit so you guys can see. So as you can see right here, browser source, I believe it starts right here whenever you first use Blurp to copy the browser source. If for some reason it doesn't, I can't remember what it looks like before, because you can already see mine's been connected, but I believe it's right there that it'll say copy browser source or import browser source or something like that. But if for some reason it doesn't, you can hit the little 3 ticks here, copy browser link. And then we're going to pop back over to OBS. And then right here on this pop out window, all you're going to do, you're going to see this one. So if you copy that browser and put it in your own stream because you want my alerts to come through, thanks, I guess. But so we're going to copy that and you control V. And then all you're going to do is hit OK. And I'll bring this back over. And now it's a clear screen. So now it's just a clear box, just like the other one. This is a little bit different in size because this is a, I believe it was 600 by 800 or 800 by 600. Sorry. And you're just going to click OK. Then we're going to pop back over real quick. And then at this point, all you're going to do is you're going to test the audio. This is just a, whether somebody follows you or subscribes to your channel, or you can have media shares and stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of stuff that Blurp can do as well. But all you're going to do is once you've done everything correct over there, you're going to hit test audio, and you guys should hear a tone and a pop up on the screen.
Salamino pinguino.
And there you go. Viewer Burkerito blurped. So it's a very simple process to do. This video technically was less than 10 minutes because of the way that it was, how easy it really is to set it up. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of jump in to OBS real quick. And I'm going to show you guys to make sure that you have your audio set. Now, most of the time, you should have everything set when you start streaming. So you really shouldn't have to do a whole lot. You can see right here in my audio mixer that I have my mic and aux, which is my Shure MB7. And that's what I'm using right now in the audio. The desktop audio is not necessarily what's coming from the desktop. It's the source that picks up the sound. For my setup, I have two of them that I'll switch between sometimes. And I can't show my stream deck, but I actually have actually, yes, I can. Here, let me do this real quick. So right here, I can click this and go back and forth between two different audio channels that I have. So I have a Fifine SC3, which is my mic mixer. And that's for my primary. My secondary is my Stealth Turtle Beach headphones. So I can go back and forth between audio sources just by the push of a button instead of going into your computer settings and changing everything from there. And I can make a whole different tutorial on that to show you guys how to set that up. And that's super simple as well. But so what you're going to do is you're going to go into settings within OBS, go to audio. And here you're going to have all your audio stuff that is used throughout the entire OBS system. So you can see right here, desktop audio, speakers, Stealth 600 PC Gen 3s. Those are my headphones, not the ones I use when I'm streaming. I'll switch those to the Fifine SC3 because my headphones, those are connected through that as well. In this case, I'm going to leave it on the Stealth headphones. And you just want to make sure that your desktop audio is set to that. You can set up two desktop audios, but I don't recommend that because you can get into a little bit of like communication issues where you switch over, you have something else playing and it can sometimes possibly cut it out. So I don't recommend using it. I try to recommend, unless you have multiple sources where you can handle, and I don't mean sources like OBS, I mean like different audio pieces within your computer or something like that. It's the same with the mic and auxiliary. You could have a MIDI system connected to it. So if you're a musician or something like that, you can also add stuff into there as well. And usually, if you have everything set, you shouldn't have to worry too much about sound not coming through because most of the time it should. Because it's designed as an alert system. There are some that don't actually send audio without you turning something on. And unfortunately, I can't mimic that because all of my stuff is set to just send the audio through. But for this particular video, if you're having trouble hearing your sound, make sure that you have a source, an audio source, and we will actually look at the properties here. And in fact, I don't have everything, and I don't think there it is. Yeah, I actually do. So if for some reason you're not getting sound or you just can't get it to come through and you want to be able to hear it so you can interact with your community and your viewers whenever they do something and send a sticker or send a blurb or something like that, just go into the advanced audio properties. And all I did was I right mouse clicked and I went to advanced audio properties, or you can hit the little gear icon here and pop it up. And then Sorry, my dog was making weird noises. Apologize for that. Make sure you guys deselect the active sources only because then it's not going to show you everything. So turn that off. And right there, you can see the blurb. You can also see all of my other audio sources that come through. The reason my camera has one is because it has a mic on it. But in this case, since we're using both blurb and the stream stickers, what I was going to say is if you can't hear the sound, just go over and make sure that you do monitor and output, because if you just do monitor only and mute the output, your viewers won't hear the other sound. Which is good if you're trying to test things and make sure that it's working for you. That's good to test it, but then make sure you turn it on. You notice none of mine are actually on, and that's just because the way that my computer runs, it's already picking up sound from the systems like stream stickers or blurb. Well, in that case, and that's pretty much it there. So that's a pretty fairly simple setup. Again, that particular run through on how to actually put things over takes less than 30 seconds. Just kind of depends on if you got everything else set up, but usually it can take anywhere from about 30 seconds to a minute to get everything fully set up and functional. And then you go and test it. And then you can start kind of troubleshooting if you're having issues with sound or anything like that. But super simple to do, extremely easy to put together when you need to. It's the same way with, Twitch and all that. And in fact, let me jump over real quick. We will jump into Twitch and I'll show you guys that. And we'll go into alerts. And it's the same thing. I don't use the Twitch alerts because I'm not a huge fan of them. They don't have the quality that some of these others do. But all you got to do is pretty much the same thing. Create all your stuff, go through all your stuff here, and if you guys ever want me to make things on how to do these, all these different ones are just how you want things to look and or what you want to create an alert for. And then you're going to go into general settings. You can name it whatever you want. In this case, it's just the follow. And then there should be, and the way that this one works, like I said, that I don't use it, so I don't really care whether it works or doesn't work. Then you can test what it looks like here. As you guys can hear, you can hear that sound. And then if you send it, you have to create it. You have to create a source for that. But like I said, I don't remember how to use this one, so I'm not going to show you because I don't want to mess you up on it. I always recommend using the other alert systems that are out there just because they're a little bit more fun, like blurb and stream stickers. Me and him, if you guys don't follow him, I'll put his link below. He uses a bunch of them as well. I think both of us, we use roughly about 5 different browser sources for alerts. I've got a couple of them already. I've got Frosty Tools, I've got Blurb, and then Stream Stickers. I do have a couple other ones, but I don't have them saved in my favorites list, and that's just because I don't want to have more than I really use because then it clutters up your OBS. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this helps a little bit. If you have any questions on it, post a comment below and ask me, and I'll try to clarify if there was some sections in there that didn't really make sense to you. I know there was a little bit of jumping back and forth, but like I said, it's super easy to do, super simple to do. A lot of the systems will actually kind of tell you how to do it, or they may show little clips on how to create a browser source. But I hope this helps you guys out. Like I said, leave a comment below. I'll also link my Discord as well in this one. And if you guys ever have any questions or you want to learn a little bit more, we have a group of people within my Discord, tech gurus, that can help you a lot with this stuff. We actually have a channel in there that you can ask questions. You know, if you have a suggestion for a video, you can put it on there and then I can show you how to do that. In this case, this was the browser sources and making sure that you got audio and how to set up those browser sources correctly. So appreciate you guys for stopping by. Make sure you hit that follow button, turn those notifications on. And as always, enjoy gaming. And this is Burkerito Gaming.